Share. There we go.
There we go. Thank you.
I'm going to start over. Can you fold?
Was I going to? I thought Aaron would have done it, but I mean, we can take them out tonight if we want. It's just what, 2 of them?
Just those hydrangeas over by.
One behind them. Can you see me on there?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from last month.
Thank you, Michael.
I'll second that.
Sorry, who seconded?
Michael Sweeney.
It might be it. Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion or amendments or changes? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I think Matt's
I'm going to try to start over, Jeff, but
Matt is going to
I think that's
abstain because he wasn't at the last meeting, so. should be good.
I abstain also.
Thank you, Lissa.
Okay, Jeff just muted himself. I'm sorry. Did we get everybody?
Yeah, Matt's here with me. He's just waiting for his computer to come back up. But anyways, let's move on to our second order of business, which is, pull up the agenda again.
so.
Okay, so old business discussion of townwide
Step out of this.
Wi-Fi. Is there any additional discussions that we should be having at this time?
I don't think there's anything new to talk about that I have anyways.
I do know there has been some discussions around town about the private entities coming in, which, you know, we talked about again last month. I don't think anything has come of that, but did anyone have anything to add to this? All right, we're going to move on to item number B, letter number B of item number 3 of old business. Available property listings.
And 1 second. Opening that up.
So there were no changes this month?
I don't believe so. Can everybody see that okay?
Good, I'm just gonna.
So, Stacy, have you looked at other towns as far as them having listings and stuff? Do other towns do this, and do they do it differently than how we do?
Hang on one second. Matt's coming in again. Their websites are different, and as far as the available properties, it varies. Some do, some don't.
I'm just wondering if there's some way to make it a little bit more user friendly to get people to be able to get things onto the list and off of the list without relying on office staff necessarily to do it.
I mean, I suppose in theory there could be a link to real estate sites, but that would be numerous different sites. This was, I think, an attempt to consolidate everything into one place.
Yeah, so do we have anything where we invite people to submit though? Like if I were to go to a commercial real estate agent right now and say, hey, we have a listing on our website, what's their best way to do it? Is it just emailing, or is there a way to access it through a website or something else where they could submit information? Yeah, maybe then we're reviewing before we put it on, but.
I mean, yeah, if we wanted to reach out to the real estate community and let them know, you can let us know and we'll post it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking here, and I mean, well, it's a pretty comprehensive list. There's only 28 listings on it. I feel like Thomaston has more than 28 listings. Maybe I'm wrong, but also as far as the accuracy of updating it and whatnot.
Well, yeah, but I do know Pat doesn't put on if she asks the people she puts on what she knows.
Yeah,
the
so
property owners want to have it on here is what I'm saying.
She called.
Oh, she does call? Okay. Yeah, so she's updating, and I guess I'm just asking because I do know that Pat will be retiring.
Yeah.
And with the new person coming in, we probably needs some sort of procedure list or some sort of outline on how to maintain this going forward.
That's the greatness that is Pat. She has manuals on everything she does.
Okay, good.
She's been preparing for this for a while.
Well, that's good to know. All right, then. Do we have any?
Amanda said she's waiting to be let in. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so many windows open that I moved that out of the way, and then I can't see who's coming in. Okay, there we go. And Amanda is now in at 7:17. I'm just stating this so that Jen has this information for doing the minutes.
Not that this is really part of this, but when is Pat's last day?
July 30th.
Oh, July. Okay, so we still have a little bit of time because we probably want to do something as for EDC to, recognize her contribution to our board and whatnot.
Yes, I agree.
And what's the process behind her replacement? Has anyone been talking about that and maybe interviewing?
Yeah, we've already gotten started. It's a union position within the town hall, so it had to be posted for a certain amount of time for any internal candidates. And I understand that one person has expressed interest as of Friday. So there's an interview scheduled on Thursday.
Okay. Sounds good. Did anyone have any thing to add to this list or subtract from this list or comment on this list? Without, we will move on. Hello, Amanda. How are you?
Hey, Jeff, what about adding?
Hi, Jeff. Doing okay.
The last time it was updated.
When was the last time the properties list is updated? It's just.
My understanding is she looks through it once a month.
So if there was no changes, we wouldn't see it because it's just added or changed in the far right.
Yeah,
column, correct?
exactly. She only notes if she's made a change from the last time.
Gotcha. Thank you. All right, let's move on. Go back to our agenda.
Second.
Can they hear me when I'm talking?
Yes.
Yes, they can, yeah. Okay, so our new business is now no business because they're gonna come in next month. So just to make it official, why don't we, someone make a motion to add them to the new business list for next month?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Lissa.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Very good. Okay. We're moving real along, right through this meeting tonight then. Okay, Stacy, a staff report, please.
Well, you hit on one thing, which was sadly, well, sadly for me, but very happy for Pat, that she'll be retiring on July 30th. And so that's obviously something big. The next thing would probably be just to further update you that Planning and Zoning voted to schedule a public hearing for a moratorium on cannabis establishments, which would include any facility that sells marijuana for recreational purposes. This isn't going to impact our palliative marijuana regulations. This is just going to be for the recreational purposes. So they have to, by statute, have a public hearing, which they've scheduled for next month, with the goal of having it in place for July, when, if anything is adopted by the state, that's when it would likely be signed into law. So they are going to do that for 6 months, and if need be, they'll take longer, but the goal is to have some time to evaluate where in town would be the best locations for this. So, and I think we mentioned last time that the regulation, when it's finally crafted, is probably going to have a look very similar to the alcohol regulations in terms of separation distances, etc.
When you say similar, you're saying as far as the initial one that has the, what is it, 1,500-foot setback, or the 750-foot, or?
Yeah, in terms of probably, because right now, anything retail would be by site plan, which is a lower level of approval. And the bill currently being considered by the state says that if zoning does not act, then a cannabis establishment has to be handled in the same way as any other retail establishment. So that would mean site plan, which is, I don't know how familiar everybody is with zoning and such, but site plan is essentially you have to approve unless there's something missing. So the moratorium would stop that from happening while they craft whatever regulation they feel is appropriate, which, like I said, is probably going to be similar to the alcohol regulations in terms of a special permit, meaning public hearing, meaning more specific site review. And also in terms of certain amount of distance from schools, from churches and other facilities, things like that.
Okay. Anything else from the staff report?
I did just want to share with you, I had sent out on our newsletter list a new program. Hang on one second, let me bring it up. This is the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. It went live as of last week. Applications are being accepted, and there's been a series of webinars, and the most recent one is going to be this upcoming Thursday at 9:30. And it provides restaurants with funding equal to their pandemic-related revenue loss up to 10 million per business. And recipients are not required to repay if funds are used for eligible expenses by March 11, 2023. So as I've been getting information, I have been trying to forward it on to the newsletter list, but by all means, if you are in contact with any of our restaurant owners, please feel free to share this information forward for them. And I do have another, hang on one second, here we go. This just gives a little bit more information in terms of these are funds from the SBA that will help you offset your losses, not alone. If you own one of the more of the following business: restaurants, food carts, food trucks, food stands, caterers, bars, saloons, lounges, taverns, coffee shops, ice cream shops, bakeries, and then some information on how you go about applying. And so this
I've
was
seen a good saloon in Connecticut in a while. Where do you find a saloon?
maybe you need the Pony Express. I don't know.
So, one of my concerns on this, and I don't know if there's any way we can help, but we just did the CVOGs, Shuttered Venues grant, and it was probably one of the most intricate and in-depth, complicated applications you could go through. And I mean, we do a lot with the state and various private organizations. The feds were even worse. I just don't know how responsive local restaurants can be to this. I think some of them are probably in a better situation than others. But I was surprised to hear not all of our restaurants in town got PPP money this year, which they all would have been eligible for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all ears on additional ways we can get the information out. I know I don't have all the emails for all the restaurants.
I think it actually goes beyond information, though. I think it comes down to, I don't know if there's anything we can do, but they're going to need assistance doing this. I mean, I had my accountant working on this. I had my board chairman working on this. I was working on it, and it was still a week or two worth of work. Plus, the whole system crashed, and we had to wait 2 weeks before it came back up in order to finish it. And now we're just in the queue waiting for them to actually sort through all of them and tell us where we land on all that. So there's probably nothing we can do. The SBA, are they going to be involved with this?
I'm sorry?
The SBA, are they going to be administering this like they did with PPP?
Yeah, it's under their auspices. Yep.
So it might be a little bit easier than the shuttered venues, but
Jeff, this is where, advise that they have their accountants, someone have their accountant, prepare the documents just like they did for most businesses.
yeah. So I think we want to try to provide as many links to the SBA connections. I'm even wondering if we're going to reach out to our local and see.
I'm sorry, if I could just interrupt for a minute. If somebody has a copy machine or something else going on in the background, it's coming through loud and clear.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's in my office. Yeah, so the SBA, I don't know how much they can help as far as workshops or assistance or giving, consultants. Hold on one second.
From what I've heard in speaking with some restaurant owners, the SBA has been very aggressive in putting out webinars and walking owners through. From the conversations I've had, most of them have not had any issues with the application process other than the freezing. And the applications are also being accepted through the point of sale vendors like Square, Clover, and they've been very hands-on as well. So I would be surprised unless we do have some restaurant owners that have not kept up to date with news at all, that they would be running into any real issues with the program. I have yet to talk to one who's not intimately familiar with it.
Good.
Yeah, no, and that's good. Like I said, the SBA has been good with PPP. They were very helpful and proactive on it. I just know with the CVOG, we were left, swinging in the breeze trying to figure it out because the SBA was not included in that process. So it was a lot harder to do.
And I think they were good also because they got the Connecticut Restaurant Association involved, and I think they did a lot of reaching out as well.
Yeah, the formula and the documentation is really simple. They really just need their 2019 return and a report for 2020 receipts. So it is super straightforward. They did make it simple.
Good.
All right, so let's just make sure that in the newsletter we have as much information in there as possible, and how invite them to contact our offices, obviously, and also the SBA contacts, so that the restaurants do have a fighting chance there.
So I just included the SBA's direct link to the program in the chat. It's their overview and should have everything that anyone looking to do the program needs, including sample applications.
Perfect.
Okay, so do we have nothing else from staff reports? Can we go to business relations? Nothing on business relations?
The only thing I could say is I was able to finally get out this weekend, and it looks like things are definitely picking up. Restaurants are busy at this point, both inside and out, I suppose, takeout and inside dining. People I have spoken with, they are hurting big time for labor. The restaurants, wait staff, even backroom cooks, prep cooks, the whole thing there. And as well as I'm finding in my industry, which is environmental services, there's a shortage of labor as well. So I'm seeing it in the factories and everything else. I don't know if anyone else is seeing the same thing, but it seems like there's a real shortage of personnel right now to meet the demand of the economy opening up.
Yeah, I think that's across the board. Matt was telling me similar with electricians.
Just construction in general, we're all actually sitting around saying, where are all the workers?
Exactly.
If you look in the, Indeed or any of the job postings, there's a lot of jobs out there. Just in construction with the people that I've been working with, we can't find, we can find apprentices, but we can't find qualified workers. We don't know where they are.
And that kind of flies in the face of, a lot of people are talking about how, everybody's saying home to collect unemployment instead, but that may be true with minimum wage workers and low wage workers, but with the trades, you're paying way more than they would collect at home. I'm also finding similar situation with my volunteers here in the theater. It's just hard getting them back into the theater and feeling safe and willing to do stuff right now.
We're having the same problem at the bank too. We had the past 2 months for the most people leaving that we've ever seen ever, and we cannot find people to replace them.
Wow.
Where are they going?
Some of them are actually moving out of state and others are finding different jobs. I think we had 14 people leave in 2 months.
And the funny thing is about living out of state, I look at the statistics right now, and our numbers are actually, our population is increasing, not decreasing during the pandemic. So it might be just a certain section of workers that seems to be moving on.
It's too bad. It sounds like there's a lot of job security out there. If you want one, they're there for you.
Well, I will say that, when you look at during the pandemic and, with the real estate market being what it is, people are definitely moving into the area out of the cities. They're working from home. So there probably is a pretty good mix of at-home workers and an increase in just overall workforce.
Right.
All right, so I guess we'll move on from that, and I'll go to downtown development and parking. I don't have a tremendous amount to report, nothing new on the survey since last month. I do still need to schedule a downtown parking committee meeting. We can probably schedule this now if we wanted to, if people have an idea as to when they might be available. Mike, you had said you wanted to be on it, Mike Maddow, right?
Yeah, I could do that. I just need to know what date you want to do it.
What works for you?
I don't know.
Matt, Mike, and I, and anyone else who wants to be, but I think those are the three that I had written down. So is there a particular, maybe at the end of a work day, maybe a 5 or 6 o'clock meeting? Let's say 6 o'clock. Any particular days?
Any day except Friday.
Why don't can we plan 2 Mondays from, no, that's Memorial Day, isn't it? Is it 2 Mondays from now, Memorial Day? No. Let me take a look at my schedule.
No, that's the following week.
Yeah, Memorial
Okay.
Day is the 31st.
The 24th you're talking about?
Yeah, can we do the 24th then?
Yeah, I'm looking all right with that.
Let's plan on that. And then what I'd like to be able to do is just kind of come up with a whole list of things we would like to address, things that we think are obtainable now, and things that are actionable that I can either bring to the police commission, the chief, or the selectmen to kind of start moving some of this stuff forward. I did receive more than one, well, we'll call it a complaint, lack of another way to describe it, of people just blatantly abusing parking, and just not even parking legally in town. I mean, basically cars parked on the crosswalks for days on end. So we really do need to clean that up. I think you were saying it could partly is the pandemic.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think anybody who's driven through town the last year knows that activity downtown has been lower than in the past years. But with the economy opening up, we're gonna probably get, if we don't take care of the parking or address the parking issue in town with the removal of the meters, we're gonna end up having more complaints and more issues as business activity increases, I believe.
Friday night is a big pinch point now too, because with the restaurants and the bars opening up, the new church in the center of town, they seem to have Friday night activities, Thursday night and Friday night activities. So now we have several more cars on the street than we typically have, which I think is a great thing, but it also means that we really have to address the, have better signage, better road paintings and policies on all of this. So
The church, the new church on the corner.
Yeah.
They take up the parking all the way around the park now,
all around, yeah, absolutely.
quite a bit of parking.
Yeah. So, and I mean, that's a good thing. I don't know who the members of the church are, but it seems to me there's a lot of new traffic and people in town attending that church, which is good for downtown Thomaston. So, all right, so if anyone else is interested, we're going to do it 6 o'clock on the 24th. Stacy, if I could ask you to post that meeting so
Will
that
do.
we're in compliance, I'd appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Where do you want to have it, Jeff?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
But whatever meeting room you can get for us.
You can include me. I'm not sure I'll be able to make it, but I will try
Yeah.
to if I can.
I could
The
just forward it
entire-
around to everybody.
COVID response. You have a COVID meeting.
At 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
4 to 5. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll plan on that, and we'll get it posted. Thank you very much. Did anyone look at the website recently? Video or website? Are we ready to start talking and dealing with that, or do we want to push that down the road a little bit more?
I went on tonight briefly this afternoon. It's this, I mean, it obviously our videos are starting to look a little aged. And it's the same issues. If you want to get somewhere to a department or to a commission or something, there's just a lot of drilling that you have to do to get to it. Other than that, I mean, obviously there's an updating issue as well, but we've already discussed that with regards to, you know, who does the updating and how that's being handled, which I don't think we can really do much about at this point, you know.
Who is our video and website committee now?
I'm not sure. Do we have that list somewhere?
And my follow-up question is, who wants to be on the video and website committee? So I do think, you know, at the very least, we need an annual review of this. And I think it would be great if our commission could actually come up with that review and just give observations and recommendations to the town at the very least. What I'd also like to do is be able to say, well, we know we want to get this video going, get CGI maybe working on that video, and also make sure that our other ones are up to date. A little bit of lifting now on this committee because it has been a while. Ooh, the silence is deafening. Okay, if we could, why don't we put this on the agenda for next month. We'll include this in the minutes that, you know, we're looking for the current members who are serving on it and or new members to serve on the video and website development committee, and that the task will be to review and make recommendations. And we'll discuss it next month. Does that sound reasonable?
Sorry, I was zoning out. I will make an effort to look at that stuff again.
Okay. Well, it doesn't have to be just you, Alyssa. I appreciate your efforts, but it's usually nice if you got one or two other people working with you. That way you can bounce ideas off of each other and kind of come up with a report. So if you feel like it's something you can do between now and our next meeting, that's great. And if not, it's not urgent that we have to do it right now, so we can, put it on our agenda for next month. But since you spoke up, why don't I leave it to you to decide if you want to hold a meeting on that? Is that okay?
Okay. Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
As long as there's other people willing to volunteer.
We'll find you somebody, I'm sure.
I may have somebody. She had reached out to me. You guys met her a little while ago. She, Alyssa Monteleone, I don't know if you recall meeting her. She's doing some classes, or was going to be doing some classes from her home, but then COVID interrupted. She did reach out to me as recently as I think 2 weeks ago about still being interested in assisting EDC, but there's no openings. So if you want me to, Liz, I can reach out to her and see if this is something she might be interested in kind of helping along with.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And, I don't think Roxanne's not on tonight, but she may have been on the committee as well. So maybe if we put out the, with the minutes, just say, hey, we're looking to activate our committees a little bit more and try to get them meeting. Melissa can either call the meeting between now and then, or we can bring it up for next month. And if Roxanne's on it, that's great. And if there's anyone else who wants to serve, that would be wonderful. The thing is with the video and website committee, it's kind of like it's all or nothing. We either have to be creating a new video and reviewing copy and, working with CGI to shoot, or we're doing absolutely nothing and waiting for it to become obsolete again. So, all right, so that's our plan. So the long-term recovery committee update, unfortunately, I don't have a lot because I missed the last one. And I will say it's because I was out golfing. So the long-term recovery is actually doing very well. I was actually at a video shoot for the show that we're doing at the Opera House, and it got done I got done about 3:30 or something. And at 4 o'clock we were eating lunch, and I got the text, "Hey, we're coming on." And it's like, oops, I forgot. So one of the few times I've missed my meeting for no apparent reason. So we have another one, and it's on the same day as the the downtown development committee meeting. So we'll have more to report next month, hopefully. But I will just say, Stacy or anyone else can chime in. I feel like we are on a good track right now. Thomaston did very well throughout COVID. Our restaurants stayed open. Our businesses have stayed active. Our schools opened up about as much as they could open up, and everything seems to be moving along well. All right, so this is a quick meeting, which is nice. Did anyone have anything else to bring to the meeting tonight? I apologize for the copier.
Mike, did you see on Thomaston People Speaks, there was a little bit of a conversation about fiber optic network company? Did you see that?
Recently? I haven't seen anything recently. There was a conversation a few months ago, but.
Yeah, it came up again.
I know I missed
A
that.
couple days ago. I didn't have time to read it. I thought maybe you would see it, but it's.
I missed it, yeah. And you didn't read it? Okay, yeah.
I didn't
I'll
have
see
time
if I
to
can
read it, and
look for it again. See if there's
If
anything.
anyone sees it, why don't you forward it to the commission so we can all read it and kind of stay abreast of that.
it was along the same lines we were talking about, where you had to have a certain amount of participation, and it made mention of the city of Bristol now is looking or using that company.
Oh, I did see
No.
the thing about
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
It's almost a reiteration of what was
What we were
said a
talking
few
about.
months back, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So my last question is for our June meeting. I can't believe we're going to be in June. Will we do this in person? And if need be, can we meet in person and provide a Zoom link to anyone who might not be able to make it? What are your thoughts and feelings on that?
Sue just came in, just so you know, 7:47.
Well, so
I don't know if she's fully up and running yet.
Well, my thought is, I mean, we still have people that are, getting their shots. They're within their 2-week window. I don't know what it'll be like next month. I'm assuming that it will continue to happen as people continue to get their shots. I think we have to play it by ear. It depends on.
I'm gonna continue to my push to try to do more in person. I would like to see if we can get a direct Ethernet plug-in for a computer in the meeting rooms, because that would be helpful in, Stacy had said how Wi-Fi is the issue, and sometimes it's a little spotty.
Yeah.
So we can at least connect with a solid connection, at least that way. Anyone who is zooming in can get there. I would like to see this presentation from the Seth Thomas Park. It'd be nice to be able to do that in person in a large room and really get to visualize and vet what they're trying to do.
Oh, I think that being in person would be great. I just am wondering, maybe it should be sort of a hybrid if we can figure that out.
All right, so let me see what I can do, and I will talk with Stacy, and I will also talk with Matt Hopkins and the selectmen and see if we can do something. I mean, even if I'm running 100-foot Ethernet cable from an office into a meeting room, I should be able to get that done.
Yeah, it's the only caveat and is that it continue to be permitted. Well, the executive orders are running out, and I know it's been talked about to varying degrees in some of the pending legislation. So that's my only caveat. Everybody seems to agree the exclusively virtual is going to expire as of, I think, May 20th. It's just a little unclear about the hybrid.
Yeah, I'm fine with the hybrid. Honestly, I don't mind if we continue hybrid forever. I think it's a great way for people to stay connected with town business and whatnot. That's my personal opinion.
It's hopefully the General Assembly sees it that way too.
Yeah, but that being said, you can't just have break up and it's freezing and drop out and everything else. You really got to make a reliable connection. So I will do my part to try to make that happen, and we'll see what happens.
For inclement weather.
Inclement weather, sure. Yeah, I mean there is a lot to be said for it. If we were could be a little bit more nimble so that we can have people not necessarily have to be physically in the building, but still be able to participate, and
Yep.
And people can come and watch and see without having to come out of their homes, whether it be on a hot summer night or a freezing cold winter night. So I think that's something, if the EDC agrees to it, that could be kind of something that we might champion, and whether the General Assembly tells us we have to or not, it could be something we could provide just as a matter of course. So I do know other towns, Meriden, a friend of mine, has been doing video connections with all their meetings. So he's streaming it out through the public access channels on cable. Now with Zoom, it kind of eliminates the public access channels, but there's no reason we couldn't do it.
It's just those situations pre-COVID and everything. The commission members were all in the same room together, but they were, you were showing it on, the website or live access TV or whatever. The hybridization where some commission members may be in the room and some may not is part of what the executive order had to go into. That
If I had a preference,
you could have a vote where people weren't all present.
In person? Yeah, Matt says he would be more productive in person. I think most of us are, but there is a convenience level, for from time to time to not actually be there, but still be able to participate in the meeting. So we'll see how that goes. All right, do we have any members of the public on right now?
Nate, are you there?
Is there anyone on, Stacy, other than our member?
There is a Nathan Vieira, but he's muted.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on.
Hello. Hello, Nathan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So we're on item number 7, public comment. If as a member of the public you have anything you'd like to share or ask or introduce yourself, please feel free to do so.
No, I'm just Nathan Beer. I'm just listening. I'm just trying to figure out like all this stuff works and just what's going on in town and stuff.
That's great. It's good to have you here. We're this meeting's a kind of light in content right now because we are Zooming, and one of our main pieces, the new business today, wasn't going to be discussed, but we welcome participation anytime, either in person or via Zoom. Anyone else have anything to add to our meeting tonight? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Mike.
I'll second
Madam.
that.
Thank you, Matt Stankevich has seconded. All right, thank you, everybody. We will see you next month or sooner if you're attending the downtown parking meeting.
Nate, thanks for joining in.
Thanks for
And
having me.
Thank you.
we adjourned at 7:54, Jen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.